When are people gonna realize that they need to drop short form media? Like, I only dropped it maybe a month or two ago, but completely removing it out of my life, damn near, is amazing. I no longer sit there, oh, I need to be on my phone for this, oh, I need to be on my phone for that. And now I'm starting to like get used to the feeling of just being bored. Like it's amazing. You go ahead and start dropping, I need to drop YouTube still. Like stop watching YouTube videos often. I mean, it's not like it takes up my entire day. But before it was like, oh, scroll for this amount of time. Okay, now let's flip it YouTube. Okay, let's watch YouTube. Okay, now let's go to watch a show on whatever. And that, like, it just felt so empty. And then, I started seeing all these different things about, oh, drop short form media because it's actually ruining your brain. And I didn't realize how bad it was until I dropped it. I was barely able to remember like 5 scrolls ago, like barely. The only reason why I would be able to is because it was like a funny video or something like that, and it actually stuck with my mind. And the more that I think about it, most people now they can't even retain like a conversation because their entertainment system in their head or dopamine system or whatever it is. I still need to do more research, but their like system in their head is just, oh, I need this form of media. Oh, I need something filling this small little section. I can't just sit there with silence. Like that's actually insane that most people can't do that. Like I said, I can't speak as if, oh, I've been doing it for so many years. But I realized that the people without social media growing up are probably some of the most fulfilled people as of right now because they don't have that drive to go ahead and, oh, hey, I need to get on my phone when I wake up. Oh, hey, I need to do this, I need to do that. And instead, it's just more like, hey, I'm going to sit there and deal with my life. I'm just going to sit there and if I have a problem, deal with it head on. I'm not saying all people are like this, but it's just so much better just to have a empty space in your head, especially since, like I said, most people can't sit there and actually think. Like most people can't. Like it's honestly starting to get ridiculous. Short form media might have been one of the things that actually ruined society more than it helped, or it definitely is. Because I get the idea of, oh, you go on, you see this short little clip, and it's like, wow, that person did that thing. But now it's just being so abused to where it's like, oh, now we're gonna strain every single brain cell in your body, and you can't go without scrolling, more than 30 minutes. Like it's starting to get worse than a drug at this point. Honestly, social media is probably, I'm not gonna say it's worse than any drug, but it's probably one of the most underlooked like addictions to society than anything else. People start looking at like a specific drug or specific addiction like drinking or anything like that, and they actually recognize, oh, hey, this is bad for me, but I'm just gonna do it because I want to do it. Other than like social media, it's just like, hey, this is bad for me, I don't realize it, or I'm just gonna ignore the fact that it's bad for me. I'm just gonna keep stacking the amount of scrolls that I do. Oh, hey, yesterday I did 100 scrolls in an hour, let me do 200 this time. And most people now, they can't even sit there throughout a movie without going ahead and grabbing their phone and searching up either the ending or just watching something else on TikTok because they're just so ultimately bored by the plot of the story. It's like, dude, it's a 2-hour movie or an hour and a half movie. I get it, that might be long, especially 2 hours. Actually, it's not even that long. I mean, imagine reading a book. Most people now probably can't even read a book. But yeah, like going on to the previous point, it's a 2-hour movie and you're sitting there and you can't even get 30 minutes without, you can't even get to the climax of it. You're dealing with the introduction and you're just sitting there and you're like, oh wow, this is the intro, I'm not going to learn any of the backstory. It's like, watching a show and just skipping the first season. Like, how can you go ahead and do that? Oh, I'm just going to search up a summary. Like, I honestly, like, I don't hate many things in this world, but I hate when people just go ahead and, oh, hey, I'm just gonna look up a summary of a book or anything like that instead of actually sitting there. Like, I understand looking at like a summary to see what it's about, but looking at like a whole summary and just wanting the shortest form of it, it's like, dude, you really couldn't sit there for a show and, say that the point's gonna be revealed within the next episode. You really couldn't sit there and, oh, hey, let my curiosity, be fulfilled through the show or the movie. Instead, you sat there on your phone just searching it up. Like, are you serious? Short form media is just ruining people as a whole. There's no more a strive to be a creator anymore. It's just more like, hey, I want to strive to, receive the most amount of clicks, whether that's with AI or with anything else. I'm not even doing anything special. I get that right now. But it's like, I'm not even sitting there wanting to abuse the fact that, oh, AI could just do everything for me. Instead, I want to actually learn how to do it. And that might be a certain bias, especially towards certain things like editing. I specifically want to learn how to edit myself, or, programming, anything else that's like techie. And even for the things that aren't techie, like, people just go ahead and start like abusing short form of literally anything. Oh, hey, I need this summary of the way to work this job. Oh, hey, I need it in its most simplified form because I can't go ahead and sit there for 30 minutes to actually learn something today. And I use AI too, but dude, short form media is just making it worse. You go ahead and like actually, like, I'm being so genuine. I've seen it so many different times of whether it was in school or anything like that. People can't even sit there through like a 10-minute lesson or anything like that, or like I said, a movie or a show, like a single episode of a show. They can't sit through any of that because it's just like, oh, my brain is so fried from the amount of dopamine. And now that I've seen the peak of, all short form media, it's just like, now I can never return. It's just like, it's so ridiculous. So honestly, like, porn is already a horrible thing, but I think short form media might do worse things than porn. Like, I don't watch any anymore. And it's just like, wow, dude, my life is just so clear. My brain is just so, like, empty. Not in a sense of, oh, I know nothing. In a sense of, I can actually, like, think and process things at, like, a way better rate than I could before. Am I going ahead and sitting there and saying, oh, I'm the smartest? I like to think that I am. But, objectively, I'm not. But still, that, like, goes for everything. Short form media is just eventually it's ruining jobs in my eyes. People go ahead and sit there and can't even sit through their jobs anymore without scrolling on TikTok or doing anything else. And I get, oh, it's an ease factor, especially like music. Oh, to be able to listen to music all the time. But sometimes, what happens if that person's phone dies and they don't have a charger? Are they gonna explode or something? Are they gonna die from sitting there for a solid 6 hours, or however long it goes ahead and takes for them to find a charger and charge their phone? To are they just actually gonna sit there and just die at this point? I know they won't, but it just seems like so many people will without short form media. Even, that example is a very drastic example because most people don't even go out the house without already either having a charger or having their phone charged. And most phones now could last easily a solid like day and a half if you go ahead and use it right. Now, with the way that people are using their phones now, it's like, dude, that battery might not even last, 3 hours, 4 hours, because you have it on max brightness, max volume of whatever. Your ears are just dying because your AirPods are on max, or whatever headphone you use is on max. And, I'm not even sitting there like trying to act like I don't do most of the things. Like, oh, I would go ahead and sit there and watch short form media. I mean, for a bit. It gets to a point to where it's like, I realize I'm not even doing anything by sitting there, so I would actually want to get up and do something. And now, like I said, I've just completely eliminated it from my life in general. More things will be eliminated, to better myself or whatever. I would even say, like, off the top of my head, other than, I guess, playing video games, I have any, like, horrible or bad habits. Because, most bad habits actually ruin your life. Everything that I'm doing as of right now, it's like, yeah, I could be 100% more productive or anything like that. But it's like, those are more of just bettering my good habits. Dude, I'm just saying, short form media it's gonna hurt, especially in the next 5 years if it just gets worse with AI and everything else, and nothing is going to improve. Like, I'm scrolling on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and literally the amount of AI grok videos that people post now on it, and like you can't even sit there and get past 5 scrolls without seeing AI. Like, even Elon goes ahead and sits there and constantly posts AI. Trump, what was it, yesterday or the day before, went ahead and posted a picture of him as a red doctor, and it was another AI photo. Like, I get it, it's kind of cool looking at yourself in an AI form, or looking at yourself in another dimension, or whatever, however you want to perceive it. But why not go ahead and just sit there and learn to do it? Like photoshopping or anything like that. Most people, who's it? Uh, Dang, I can't even think of, like, there was an artist, they're on tip of my tongue right now, bro. I can't even think of who they are. But like, some people's album covers, like even Michael Jackson, right? You go ahead and look at Michael Jackson's album covers, and they are all just so cool because whoever, I don't know if it was actually Michael Jackson or whatever, they actually put time and dedication to actually learn the process of how to do those things, and you know learn how to Photoshop, or whatever it is. Like I said, I'm no expert, especially right now. I'm no expert on practically anything other than my own life, but those things are just so cool to actually sit there and learn. Like, yes, sometimes it's a boring process, but once you go ahead and get past the boring, you go ahead and get to like this point of just like, oh shit, oh, my life is just so peak because I go ahead and I can make a movie on my phone, and plug up my laptop and plug the footage in and do all this 3D rendering and whatnot. And I just find that so fascinating. Like, the fact that people like currently have like separated art from you know society is just like so hurtful in my mind. Like, artists, of course they're still artists. I hope that there will always be artists, but artists now are just so hard to find in like a random person. Everyone's just like, oh, I do the typical things, and nobody even sits there and takes a chance on themselves anymore. Like, it's honestly like kind of hurtful to see how society has truly become. It's just like, oh, hey, we're gonna short form media, or anything else, oh, just brain rot as a whole, oh, we're just gonna abuse every single thing, as if it's a drug, whether it's AI, short form media, anything like that. We're just gonna completely abuse it. And now we have like all these like, they're like almost like slaves, or like not even slaves. It's just like you're hypnotized at that point. You're just like, oh, I want more. It's like, dude, how much more do you want? You're just like, they're literally sucking on your mind, and your mind can't even sit there and process anything anymore because you can't go a second without short form media. It's like, dude, it's crazy. And to go on to the other topic that I was also talking about, of creativity, you don't see like artists as much anymore. Of course, there's that niche, like it's almost starting to become like a niche. Like, I remember when everyone's like, I was only a kid, I'm only 18, But I even looking at videos, I see like all these different like literal like just constant groups of, hey, I want to create, hey, I want to become this, and now it's just more of like put into the back. Why is creativity so like hidden now? Like I don't know, I don't understand. Being creative is literally one of the biggest like brag rights as a human. If you can go ahead and sit there and turn a crappy situation into a good one because you're creative, I find that fascinating. Whether it's like something that, it can be literally as stupid as, oh, just putting a plastic bag over something or anything like that. It's like, dude, you at least still use your brain to get to that point. Whether it's like, like I said, whether it's the most simple drawing, dude, you at least sat there and drew. Most people can't even sit there and draw now because it's just short form media or whatever it is. It's just ruining everyone's brain. Like, people need to truly take a step back. Go learn something. Like I don't even know what else to say other than short form media is ruining you. Peace.